very bright sunlight. It's actually difficult on this phone to see whether it's recording or not, so that's why I'm peering at it. Well, we went to see Alfred this morning. Beth loves Beth loves going and taking videos of Alfred because for whatever reason people are fascinated with Alfred. Alfred the German, as Beth calls him. But you know, it was, I must admit, it was a kind of a rough start with Alfred. We used to be at loggerheads. We'd be in disagreement. That, as time went by, I began to see Alfred in a different way. In among a lot of people that we've had in our lives that have turned out to be people who promise everything and oftentimes come up with nothing. Alfred is you can rely on Alfred to be what he says he is. He doesn't have any filters. He doesn't pretend to be something else because he really doesn't give a crap what anybody thinks of him. And so, because he doesn't care what people may or may not think of him, you just get the plain, unvarnished truth with him. And I've met a lot of people who say that they are brutally honest, and what that usually means is that they are more brutal than honest, and they enjoy the brutality of saying things which they know that people will have a hard time confronting. So I don't put a lot of store on people who are so-called brutally honest. Alfred, as time goes by, I realise that he won't ever be my buddy, but he's as true a friend as I could expect. I went today because we were told. One of those things that even though you may not believe it, you have to check on it. And someone said that a subscriber told him, a subscriber told him that Alfred had died. Well, we've heard nothing. But then, who could have heard anything from Alfred? He has no internet, no telephone, he has no power, no running water. He is living what most people think is an impossibly simple life. Well, because we've been told this, and what would we do? Would we say, no, it can't be true, we know it's not true, and not check on him, and then find out in that unlikely situation that he had passed? Because the thing is that it's not just a case of Alfred. We care very much about Marie, and the thought that Marie might be there without a means of communicating and that Alfred had passed was not okay. So first thing in the morning, 7:30, we're on our way, and we went to see Alfred. Well, it was quite early when we got there, so Alfred was still not up. He was, yes, well, he was up, but he wasn't really up and about, if you're with me. And Marie had gone to a taffy on some errands that she had to do. So Marie was not there. So it's Alfred. So Alfred, he doesn't really like having videos taken, but he realizes that's a kind of a price to pay, especially with Beth. So he accepts it. And Alfred and I talk. Well, Alfred and I don't actually talk. Alfred talks. Now, at first this used to wear on me a lot. And then I began to realize quite a time ago, not just in relation to Alfred, but when the typhoon hit, there were several people that we cared for and half cared for, but felt that we had to check on them, and we did check on them, and I realized then when I was talking to Beth that in life it's about the friend that you can be to someone else, not about the friend that he or she can be to you. That's the only way that you can work out whether you should do something to help someone. Well, with Alfred, I guess he really doesn't take he doesn't enjoy a close relationship with anybody to be able to talk freely, and when I go there, and I know another friend who can't go there because he simply can't take the endless talk that Alfred when Alfred talks, he can be quite merciless. He is without mercy. He will talk without drawing a breath for as long as you let him. And the problem with that is that he talks actually in quite a soft voice, which disappears. It never quite emerges from his throat, from his mouth. And so you find yourself leaning forward like this to catch on the words. Now, he's a man of stories, and the only problem is, as I've said before, is there's two things with Alfred. He struggles with his English, which actually is quite charming in a way, because some of the things that he says are like anybody, like I would certainly be if I was learning, say, Visayan. I would be saying things, grammatically speaking, the wrong way round. And Alfred does that, so it is not without charm when you listen to him. But he speaks without pause. He keeps going, almost as if he's scared that someone else may jump in and start talking and he'll lose the opportunity. So, you know, when you go there, you're just going to have to turn your listening switch on and forget about talking. And I hardly said anything at all for the entire, hour that we were there. He's very courteous. But what I wanted to get to about this particular visit was that he talked about Marie. Now, here's a man that has come in for such a lot of negative stuff. I'm almost beginning to think that he's me. For those of you who know our history, you'll know that why I'm saying that. We've suffered greatly from the attention of people who don't know what the meaning of positive is. Well, anyway, Alfred comes in for it because he's that much older than Marie, and Marie looks younger than she actually is. She is in her, I think, what is she, 25 or 26 or something. She might even be older than that. But she's a timid lady. She's very nice. We know her from a while back. She came from the same community as the three little girls. Now that's going to take you back some. If you haven't been with us that long, you won't know that the three little girls, that family, it's three little girls. Well, actually it's four little girls, and I think that theirs was either the second or the third house that we built when we first started building houses. So he actually adores that girl. That's the truth of it, and it comes out when he talks to you. That he just can't believe how caring she is, and it comes out in very funny ways. A lot of people have said they don't like Alfred having long hair. Well, actually, I don't mind him having long hair. I don't mind him shaving his head. It's his head, and he has this bushy Santa Claus beard, and people take exception to that. Tell him, I just had a comment that says, tell him to get a haircut and a shave, because he looks sick, or he looks this, or he looks that. It's his head, and we need say no more. Well, he told me that Marie comes out in the morning and she combs his hair and his beard, and in the evening, before they go to bed, he has his hair combed again by Marie. She carefully combs his hair, and I guess his beard as well. And he was telling me, obviously I'm not telling you in as charming a way as he told me, but he tells me of how she just takes care of him to such an incredible degree. He said if she is working in the garden and she comes in, she checks his coffee cup and goes, oh my God, and because the coffee cup is not full, so then she rushes off and she makes a cup of coffee for him, and it's the same if she makes juice or squash or orange drink, and if the jug gets down to a little bit like this, she goes, oh my gosh, and she rushes off and she makes it. She cooks, and the place is absolutely immaculate. It's just beautiful, and the garden is it's picture perfect. It's got little rows of cabbages, and then in another one there's something else. And as he's talking about Marie, he says she doesn't like the telephone like me. Says she doesn't like the telephone. That's the girls, our girls. He said, and she's not interested in the internet. He said, and if we go away to the beach or we do something, he said, when she's coming home, she says to me, oh, I'm so glad we're home. And so, as I said, Alfred doesn't have any filters because he doesn't care what you think of him. So you know that this is not dressed up for you. This is not some invented picture that he wants other people to see, because he doesn't care. He doesn't want to offend people, but if they disagree, if they don't like his hair, or they don't like this, or don't like that, he doesn't care. Hey, I've stopped it. All these motorcycles are going past. It's Beth is getting in.
go home now. What? My stomach is bad.
Oh, really?
Can we turn around? The same.
Oh, I can't turn around. I don't think we could go home in reverse. What? What?
Oh,
Ah, that.
okay.
See you later. Be careful. I'd like to see you again. That's BB. She's what is she doing, by the way, honey?
Oh, you're in video?
What?
Nothing. She's my driver.
She's not doing anything. I thought she was going to go somewhere.
She's gonna go home.
Oh, okay.
We
Darling,
supposed.
I left my crystal ball at home.
Things
so-
happened. My stomach is so bad, so that's why I said to baby, let's go. Let's find some gasoline station. But it's like it's watery.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you for sharing that.
So I need
Did we all
to-
get that? It's watery.
It's watery poop.
Watery poop. What could be worse than watery poop? Yes, I was just talking about Alfred.
Okay.
Did you get the same impression as me that when he was talking about Marie, because she was absent, because she was away doing her errands, did you get the impression that he just adores that girl?
Yeah. I'm just happy for the two of them.
Yeah.
I think they find their match.
Yes,
You know.
because they're actually sharing a unique way of life for
Yeah.
a modern couple.
Mm-hmm. So that's why Marie is very silent, right?
She's very quiet.
Quiet. Alfred also is very quiet,
Well,
right?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
Alfred, no, what I mean is
When
if
they're
she's
together, I think it's a fairly
yeah,
quiet
you know.
match.
So they want Alfred wanted some peaceful time, but when he has somebody to talk to, he's also like a machine gun, right?
Like a machine, rather
Yeah.
than he doesn't machine gun you.
What I mean is talking. So
Yes, he never draws a breath.
yeah, I never stop talking.
Yeah.
So and then Marie is also very quiet, you know, and wanted some peaceful environment. That's why when I met the other girlfriends, the ex-girlfriends of Alfred, right? And then the first thing,
Can you lean over a
yeah,
little so
the
we
first
can
thing
get you?
when I speak to some the ex-girlfriends of Alfred, I said, how's your stay here? Are you happy or something like that? And the first thing that they're gonna say is, it's very quiet, it's very I'm not used on the quiet place, you know. So that's their first impression. In other words, I cannot live with it. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know if I can stay longer, something like that. You know, the other explanation. But with Marie, I asked Marie, so how's your life here? She said, I'm very happy. I like the place. It's quiet. It's away from other people. You know, so that's another thing. Like on my, on my side, you know, I'm always love on the mountain, right? But if there's a place to be in the beach, I love to be in the beach, right?
Yes.
But being in the chaotic environment, like one neighbor next to his neighbor, you know, although I'm used to it. When I was in Cebu, I live in the ghetto, in the
the
squatter
boarding
area,
house.
in the squatter area. But I only went there, sleep, go to school, work, sleep, you know. So I have no option. But on the case of Terrence and I, we always saying, when we saw a house there, we said, oh, that's a very nice house. But look at next to it, it's a lot of people surrounding. So in other words, there's no kind of privacy. There's no kind of, if one of your neighbor is doing video game, you're also getting annoyed of yourselves, you know, especially if the voice is not so nice, you know. So I think that's why I said that I think they're finding their match. You know, they're finding their pair, and we're very happy for the two of them. You know.
I mean, I thought it was really charming the way that he spoke about her.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things, isn't it? What's the chances? What's the odds of finding someone that so perfectly mirrors what you feel yourself about the way you live? Ooh,
Remember?
building.
Yeah. They put a gate. Remember, there are some people saying that opposite attracts, right? So sometimes your attitude, you know, you like the other attitude. You don't want the same attitude as yours, you know, because it's kind of boring life, right? So you wanted something different, but later on, you know, oh, this is getting closer and closer. So you need to be
Crazy now.
you need to be very careful because there's a
man with a gate there, and he has a little tiny piece of concrete laid out the front of the gate, and he doesn't want anybody to drive on it, so he's put a load of logs, but he's overlapped the entrance to his house, the gate, and it's now jutting out into the road, so people are hitting it. I've hit it a couple of times, and I know that other people probably have as well. So now he's hammered nails into it, 6-inch nails, which are sticking up 3 inches, and the logs are gradually getting further and further into the roadway. But anyway, what are we talking about, Alfred?
So that's all.
I was just very happy for her. But anyway, so the fact that we went there, I decided that we may as well just reveal that somebody had said what they said about him having passed, and whether it's a prank or not, we can't afford, as friends of Alfred, we can't afford to say, oh, I don't believe it. So we went to check on him, and the truth is that he's fine.
Yeah.
So
because when I opened my phone this morning, you know, when I opened my phone this morning, it's that's the first message that we received, right? So I wake up Terence and said, look, Han, there's a message here. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's better. We need to find out, you know. Because Alfred is a family to us, you know. So that's what we drive right away. We don't have lunch. We don't have coffee at all. You know, just like okay, I'm just gonna change my clothes. You know, so go straight to Alfred.
7:30 we were on the road.
You know, so it goes to Alfred, and then it's very quiet, you know. But we're just glad that when we saw some neighbor before when we're entering, and they just called Terence. So in other words, it looks like nothing happened, right? So it's kind of good indications to us.
Yeah. But when we got to the house, it was all shuttered up.
Yeah.
Alfred doesn't have glass windows. He has
wooden
shutters. He has windows which are made of wood, like shutters, hinged, but shutters, so the whole thing gets battened down, in other words. And I feared the worst when I saw that, but I still called, and then I heard him call, and he said, oh,
you know, when he answered, he said, Terence. It's like, oh my God, thank you, my nervous is gone. You know,
we'll let these guys get ahead. It's just BB. Yeah, so we can finish up on Alfred then.
Yeah, so again, this is my brown hair. Have a great day and God bless. Bye-bye.
And this is my white hair.